Hi, I'm Beck, and in honor of February and Valentine's Day, I thought I would discuss my top romances on my to-be-read list that I'm hoping to get to very, very soon. I know that getting to something very, very soon is kind of a TBR cliche, because by very soon that could mean today or in 2 years. But in this case, I mean very soon as in this month, because this was on my February TBR video, and that is The Charm Offensive, which is a male-male romance. And I think it follows a character who joins a dating reality show, and the host of the reality show falls in love with the co-star of it. And I'm a bit iffy going into it because I'm worried that I won't love a reality TV centric story. I don't like reality TV, but I've heard that this is good and enjoyable, so I'm hoping that I like it. Then I've got another one that I only recently talked about in a book haul, but this video is going up before the book haul, so spoilers, I guess. But You Should See Me in a Crown is the one I want to get to very shortly as well. It's not on my February TBR like The Charm Offensive, but at some point this year would be great. And this follows a girl at school, and she's trying to get a scholarship, and to do that she is running for, I think, prom queen, because if you are prom queen then you get a scholarship to wherever school you want to go or something. But she's in the running with competition, and I think she falls for her competition. So it's, I think, a female or a sapphic romance, which I'm looking forward to, but it is young adult, which I don't tend to pick up too often. But hopefully this is one of those exceptions to the rule and I end up really loving it, but we'll see. You Should See Me in a Crown was a massive thing on BookTube, I think like a year and a half ago maybe, and everyone seemed to be reading it, and I definitely missed that boat, but it is on my TBR now kind of to make up for it. Then I've got a book on this TBR that hasn't released yet, but I've read the other two and loved them. I talked about them in my January wrap up, and they are by Ashley Herring Blake, and the next one is Iris Kelly Doesn't Date, and we've just got a cover which is beautiful. And this one obviously is about Iris, who is the third of the friends, and so you've got a found family aspect here with queer friendships, and then you've also got characters getting into female romances, so more sapphic romance. And I'm really loving queer romances lately. The characters in them just feel more well developed than they would in like a regular kind of rom-com. So I'm really like living my best life with queer romances lately, especially with Ashley Herring Blake. I'm definitely keeping an eye on what she brings out in the future, because I think she's a new romance author that I'm going to be automatically ordering stuff from, because Iris Kelly Doesn't Date is coming out at the end of this year and it is really hard for me to wait for it. And then I did try some Tessa Bailey in January, and I found that I actually quite enjoyed her stuff, so I'm going to put another one of her fake dating books on my TBR, and that is Fix Her Up or Fix You Up. And I think this is one of a series, but I've heard okay things from friends about the continuations, so I'm just putting the first one on here because I would like to give it a try and see if it's up my alley, because I do like fake dating and I do like Grumpy and Sunshine. I like that only one bed trope. So those are kind of like the classic rom-com things that I enjoy. I also like small town romance. So hopefully all of those boxes are somewhat ticked across the things I've got on my romance TBR, but definitely recommend me some below if you have anything that is flagged by any of those tropes that I love. I would like to check stuff out and broaden my horizons on romance, because I do read it, but I read mostly science fiction and fantasy. And so when it comes to romance, I don't know enough about enough authors to branch out, I guess. So any recommendations welcome. But Tessa Bailey is definitely another one that I want to give a try. And she also released a book very recently called Secretly Yours, and I think that's also a fake dating one. My notes just say it says Small Town and Grumpy and Sunshine, so it might not be fake dating. Don't quote me, but that came out early February, so it is a super new release. So I don't know whether to go for that one or to go for Fix Her Up. I'll just leave it to my mood reading to decide. But either way, Tessa Bailey has definitely made it onto my radar this year. Then we've got another one that I could only find as an ebook, so I think it's a little bit harder to discover because it's potentially self-published, but I'm honestly really not sure. It is called The Magic Between, and I think this is a queer romance because the main character is bisexual. It also has this fated mates feel to it and opposites attract, and I don't necessarily go for that kind of trope. I don't like fated mates because it enforces this like destiny upon the characters. Sometimes it can be done well, like any trope, but for most of the time I don't like it. So I'm hoping that this book is also an outlier and I do really enjoy it. It's about two guys, so it's a male-male romance, and one of them knows he's queer, but then the other one is trying to find his person, and he gets like bonded to this guy and he didn't even know, like he thought he was straight. So I think it's going to have a great identity discussion and queerness discussion in there, but I'm looking forward to reading it and I hope that I can get to it soon because I don't actually own this one yet. And then lastly, on my romance TBR, I actually do own this one because it arrived very recently, and that is Witch Please. And let me just read you the final tagline of the blurb because I feel like it summarizes enough that kind of piques your interest. And it says, can a modern witch, so our main character Danica, can a modern witch find love with an old-fashioned mundane who refuses to settle for anything less than forever? It's going to be, I think, really cute because I think it's about a bakery that this guy owns and he doesn't either know about magic or he's not really involved with it, so mundane. And then our witch is sworn off love after a messy breakup. So I think it's going to like coax that vulnerability from the characters and they're going to really confide in each other, and I'm really looking forward to it. So again, I hope this is like another 5 stars for me because romance doesn't often get 5 stars. It often gets like 4, 4.5, maybe 3. But this one I'm really hoping is a 5. Also, it is worth noting that the Ashley Herring Blake books got 5 stars from me, and both of those are romance as well. So I am really excited to discover a new frontier of romance. Again, recommend me stuff below. There is so much romance to get through and I feel like I have barely scratched the surface. But thank you so much for watching this video. I'll come chat to you down below in the comments and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.